Like Joy Sanchez, and today I'm gonna review a Scooby-Doo movie. Of course, Scooby has a lot of movies, a lot of movies, so today, to make things simple, I'm going to talk about the 2002 film, simply called Scooby-Doo. Fun fact, this film had a very rocky development. It was originally a PG-13 parody of the franchise, with Shaggy as a stoner, Velma and Daphne were in a relationship, and there would be a lot of marijuana jokes, but was eventually toned down to PG. When the film was released back in 2002, it got pretty bad reviews, but did well financially enough to get a sequel 2 years later. So let's Scooby-Dooey do this. 2 years after the Mystery Gang had broken up due to clashing personalities, the gang are eventually invited by the eccentric Mondevarius to his theme park, Spooky Island. He brought them there to solve a case on why people at his park are behaving strange. But it won't be easy, as the team squadman will make things difficult to solve the mystery. So now the team must put aside their differences and become a team again in order to not only solve the mystery, but even save the world. Now, I loved this film as a kid when my family had it on DVD, but watching this film for this review, yeah, this film is pretty much trash. You can tell that this film was originally a lot more edgier. You can notice that in the final cut. Like a lot of kids' movies, it relies on cheap gags, cheap cliches, and dumb contrivance that really make this film hard to watch at times. Firstly, the betrayal of Mystery Incorporated. My goodness, they really did the crew dirty, with many of them coming across as unlikable and very unpleasant jerks to one another. With Fred being this narcissistic jock jerk, Daphne being a total bad girl, Velma coming across as an obnoxious know-it-all. Even the more pleasant ones like Shaggy and Scooby-Doo can have their jerk moments, like leaving the gang to die at one point. It really makes it hard to get engaged with these characters because they're so unlikable. I assume that they were written like this to get across the film's message of teamwork, but it comes across as very shallow. It kind of reminds me of shows like either Danny Phantom or Totally Spies, where it's quite hard to get engaged with the main characters because they're so unpleasant and nasty that it makes it hard to watch at times. I know I may have enraged a lot of fans of these shows, but I'm sorry, it's my opinion. Thank gosh we live in an era where shows and movies don't have to rely on being mean-spirited and just have the characters be likable human beings. What I like about the cartoons, even the recent ones, like Scooby-Doo and Guess Who and Not Count Velma, is that they have a believable friendship for each other. When one of their teammates is in danger, they won't hesitate to come to the rescue, especially the cowards Shaggy and Scooby. But in here, they mainly come across as pricks that do nothing but bicker, argue, and even bully one another. Another problem with the film is the comedy. As a 2000s kids film, it relies on dumb, gross-out gags, obnoxious slapstick, and jokes that are surprisingly inappropriate for a family film. But then again, this was originally a PG-13 film, so it makes a lot of sense. And then there's the mystery aspect of the film, the main theme of Scooby-Doo. It would have been a fine mystery, but the film's mystery aspect is poorly written because spoiler, the big bad of this film, because of the big twist of Scrappy-Doo being the bad guy. Because besides one forced in and pretty awful scene that features gross out humor and the gang abandoned, and again pretty prickish of Mystery Incorporated. Speaking of which, Scrappy-Doo as the villain. People seem absolutely despise of Scrappy-Doo. Personally, I don't think he's that bad of a character, as he does try to help his friends and families. So to make him the bad guy may satisfy some fans who hate him, but I think it just comes across as jumping the shark. It'd be like if in Arthur, where Mr. and Mrs. Reed would suddenly kick DW out of their home. Sure, DW is a brat, but that doesn't excuse this treatment of her. I would hate the parents just more than DW because of this, which I totally do. Plus, there are some things that just don't belong in the Scooby-Doo picture, like demons that possess people's souls. Maybe the idea would have worked in the better written movie, but in the goofy comedy with a talking dog, no. Just no. And then there's the CGI of Scooby-Doo and the monsters. Oh boy, they really don't look good at all. Even for 2002 standards, they look like something out of a PS1 game than a movie. I also found the designs of Scooby-Doo in this film to be just full-on nightmare feel as he tries to look anatomically correct while also being cartoonish, which just makes him look horrifying. Even the animation of him can be obnoxious at times, as he tries way too hard to be wacky and zany and cartoony. Is there at least some goodness in this film? Well, there is. While I did find the characters not that good, at least the acting's at least pretty good. Especially Matthew Lillard as Shaggy. He both captured the essence of the Shaggy Man while also giving it his own flair. In fact, he was so good that he would later on be the certain voice of Shaggy, even to this day. Plus, the lunar ghost at the beginning has probably the best effects in this film, since he's not a CGI creature, so you believe that he's there. This is to conclude. This is just a Scooby-Doo don't. As a film adaptation, it's painfully unfunny, very inappropriate for a family film. It can be quite mean-spirited at times, and as a parody of Scooby-Doo, it's just too juvenile to even be enjoyable. Not to mention the poorly aged effects make this already rotten Scooby snack worse. Not even the great acting to save this film. This gets a 3 out of 10. If I were you, I'd just stick with the cartoons, or better yet, watch Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.